Welcome to Revival Records Podcast. I'm Peyton, one of the co-founders of Revival, as well as a singer, songwriter, and performer who has spent the last 20 years riding the roller coaster, otherwise known as the music business. And on this podcast, I speak to talented artists, producers, DJs, music moguls, songwriters, musicians, basically anyone brave enough or just crazy enough to make the business of music their mission in life. Today's guest is a vocalist, songwriter, and live performer who currently features on Revival's latest single, Best of My Love, and who has been in the music game for over 30 years, and who was catapulted to the Fame Games when she was selected to represent the UK and nearly won the 1998 Eurovision Song Contest, losing out second place only to Israel's iconic Dana International. Eurovision is arguably the biggest world stage for any artist to perform on and has launched the careers of some pretty big world stars, including ABBA, Celine Dion, Katrina and the Waves, Julio Iglesias, Olivia Newton-John, just to name a few. Imaani's career has spanned 3 decades and multiple genres, but it's her involvement with the soul jazz funk collective Incognito that has arguably played the most consistent role in what has been a very colorful and impressive journey. On today's podcast, I have the absolute joy and privilege of sitting down with this soulful songstress and drilling down into where that kind of staying power comes from and what keeps her going from strength to strength. And to borrow lyrics from her own top 10 worldwide hit that made me a fan 25 years ago, where are you now? Where are we now? Actually, we're at Arrogant House, which I can't help thinking sounds like Arrogant House. But nobody here is going to be arrogant because I am waiting for the legendary artiste, Imaani, the one and only real Imaani. And yeah, I'm really excited to see her. She's featured on our most recent single from Revival Records, The Best of My Love. And she's a true powerhouse. And I'm excited to see my friend. And I'm trying to remember the words to her song from Eurovision.
I can help you with that, babe. I can help you with that.
There you are. Good,
hey,
baby. Mwah. Mwah. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
You're looking gorgeous.
Thank you so much. Let me
hot, actually.
put my stuff away and just,
Don't put your stuff away. Leave it right here on the table. This is a podcast. It's all about putting it all on the table.
So good to see you.
So I can drive through the rain.
Yes.
Walk a desert plain. Is that right?
Yeah.
You can unlock these chains.
Sing it, baby.
Where are you now?
You got it. You don't need me.
Is that right?
You don't need me. You got it. You got it.
God, I'm so gay. 1998.
1998 Eurovision Song Contest. Number 2.
That is great. That is wild to me. No, that's wild because 1998 Eurovision Song Contest, and really, if my memory serves me correct, which to be fair, I wouldn't count on, that's the last time before Sam Ryder,
That's right.
in the last Eurovision, actually came in second. That's the last time the UK did anything, right? I mean, from that point on, it was kind of like the UK was just...
It was a pretty bad run.
Oh, it was a
pretty bad run for quite a long time.
Thank you, Sam, for breaking that.
Sam was incredible.
Sam was amazing.
Every interview I've done, especially regarding the Eurovision, Sam Ryder was absolutely stunning.
I think it's fair to say, if it hadn't been for the geopolitical situation,
totally in the climate at the time,
yeah, and was right. And I know not everybody was. I'm a fan. I was a big fan of the Ukraine entry, but I have to say, I think had it not been
vocal performance, just dynamism, just all of it, just stunning,
and just
stunning.
sweet.
Stunning.
Like a
lovely
nice guy.
Lovely guy.
I mean, I don't know him, but I like it when you see an artist and you think, I'd like
to
be
hang
their
out
friend.
with that guy.
I love it. Yeah. So God, I mean, what was? I mean, I know it's what
20...
It's about 25 years, I believe, this year. God, that's a long time ago. Wow,
that's half a lifetime if you happen to be 50, which of course we're not. But I mean,
that's a long time ago. Let's not talk about age. It's probably best we don't touch on that.
25 years ago, and have people been asking you where are you now ever since?
Constantly.
I mean, has it been something like
Imaani, I would drive through the rain. How did you get here? Did you come through a desert plain? Yes, that's how I got.
Have you ever had anybody walk a desert plain to get to you?
No, unfortunately. No. Maybe you'll be the first.
Maybe I'll be the first, although...
Maybe.
I'm not going anywhere near the desert in this tweed jacket.
I love this jacket, by the way.
Thank you. It's given to me by my very good friend Jason Gardner, actually. Thank you very much.
I'm sure anyone watching would agree. Oh, love it. Love a bit of tweed.
Maybe we can actually ask people to write in and
love
let them know what you think of Peyton's fashion choice. Imaani, thank you for meeting me. Thank you for being part of the project.
Oh, my God.
And being part of the family, because Revival really is a family.
It is a family.
It's a family. It's a family affair. And it is. And I love that about it.
Yeah.
In this AI.
Oh, don't get me started. Let's not talk about AI.
Sound like someone's granddad. The AI thing is scary.
Terrifying.
Does it terrify you too?
It really does.
As an artist.
As an artist, as a creative, and you realise that you could be overtaken by this technology. You kind of don't even need to be there. I mean,
but does that really, really scare you? I mean, or do you actually somewhere down deep inside think nothing's ever going to really replace a true art? I mean, isn't there something about the soul of a human, whatever this vibrational frequency that makes us human, that makes us so special, that connects us? No AI is ever going to have that.
Well, no, but what I would say is that, especially in live performance, it's almost becoming a bit of a dying art. So much of the industry now is focused on what comes out of the studio. It's not in the old days, it was kind of, you'd have to do a lot of live performances to get your crowd and to get your following. And now it's kind of not. It's kind of Instagram and TikTok, and it's all about your social media presence as opposed to your actual artist being an artist presence. So AI is scary because you can actually take the artist out of the studio now. You could actually take the artist out. The only thing that AI can't do is perform live yet.
Well, I mean, there's
holograph.
There's that artist that was signed. I think it's a German guy that, and it's an AI generated artist.
I haven't seen this.
You haven't heard about this?
No, and don't even.
It's signed by a label, and it's all AI generated, and I mean, already had a bit of a following, and
it's wonderful technology, and. It's amazing to see the strides that we're making. But on the other hand, I worry that being a real artist is a dying art. I do worry, but I'm old. That's why.
You're not old, baby. Just mature.
I just like the real. I come from the old school. I consider myself an old school soul singer. Anybody ask me what do I sing? I sing soul, and I want to be remembered as that. And that's what I set out to be, and that's what I do. And that involves the whole process, the creativity, the writing, the recording in the studio, and the going out and playing.
Well, speaking of being old, and also...
Speaking of being old, Peyton.
And soul. So this is quite amazing. When I lived in the States, but it was before I made my move to the UK, I actually lived in Washington, D.C. for a few years, and this would have been the mid-90s, I guess. Mid-90s. And this was at a time when you wanted to find music, especially new music or music from a different territory, you had to order that shit.
Babe, and wait for it. And you'd hear about it, and you'd read your music magazines.
Yeah.
You'd read your music press.
Remember when there was press?
Please, you'd read the music press and be like, this tune's coming out on this date. You would pre-order. You'd be first in line at the record shop trying to get that.
Well, listen. So there was a record shop where I used to go, and they knew my taste. They knew I loved soul. I loved my soul to soul. I loved my, New York soul. I mean, they knew what I loved.
Yeah.
So they would make recommendations, and that's how you discovered artists, And so anyway, one of the recommendations they made was Incognito, which I ordered because that was British, and I had to order it from this record shop. So in America, it took weeks or months to come, whatever. So I fell in love with Incognito at that time, and have been a big fan ever since.
Yeah, yeah.
And so for me, it's really cool that I get to meet you, because you've been part of Incognito since the 90s, right? 96,
Since the
97?
96, I think was my first
96.
appearance in the band.
So, I mean, that is, for me, that is just, it's such a cool,
It's just
full circle.
But I still remember getting that call from Bluey.
Bluey. I mean, I've been obsessed with Bluey for
Bluey's
years.
just, he's incredible.
Contacted me years ago for something, and I can't remember what happened, but
He's such a dude.
I mean, what an amazing
I just remember hearing this voice on the phone saying, "Oh, Imaani, hi, it's Bluey. I don't know if you know who I was." Like, I know who you are. I know who you are.
Of course.
I'm a massive fan. And he's like, "Would you want to come down and I've got a track I want you to sing on the album." So the first thing I did was actually record, and I went in and sang a song, and I just remember that day in the studio trying really hard to impress, and at the end it was like, I love that kind of smoky voice you got there, girl. And then the first gig I did, I think if memory serves me right, and we are going back 100 years, my first gig was Montreux Jazz Festival.
Oh, wow.
Which was huge.
Wow.
Huge for me. With that band, I've been to places in the world that I would never have dreamed of being.
Yeah.
Kazakhstan, and I've played on ice rinks in Venice.
And it's a proper collective. It's like...
It's a family.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a family, much like Revival.
Yeah, yeah.
But it is a collective, and that's why the name Incognito is there, because it doesn't rest on one vocalist, one player.
Right. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
The family.
I never thought about it, actually.
2,000-3,000 people have been through that band over the years.
Really?
Yeah, it's Bluey. Incognito is Bluey, and everyone else is a collective.
Everybody
as
else
you
is
said.
part of this collective.
Yeah, it doesn't rest on one person. It rests on the music.
Wow.
And the writing.
And you've been doing that. You also had your own, you've had a lot of your own records out as well.
Yeah.
You've had some big house records.
Lots of house.
Lots of house.
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
What was your biggest house record?
My biggest house record, which I'm really proud of, is a song that I wrote about my son. He was about 2.
Is that
Found My Light.
Find My Light.
Found My Light.
Really?
So I wrote that.
That was about your son.
That was about my son. It was about actually experiencing real love for the first time. Thinking you had, but knowing you hadn't. Do you know what I mean? Like...
No, because I don't have a kid.
Well, when you're young and you think you're in love, and it's like, oh my God,
of course.
Oh, Christopher.
Yeah.
I just love him. And then the next week, Christopher's with Tina, and it's like, well, forget him, he's no one. And then you hold a baby. For me, to hold my child in my arms for the first time.
I think, at least I imagine it to be the difference between an adult love relationship, which is conditional, and unconditional love.
Yeah,
the thing with a child, with a
like
baby, it's just, I guess the closest I could come to is like my cat. Yeah,
no, absolutely.
Which I mean might be a weird comparison for some people, but I mean that relationship, because it's an unconditional love. I can yell at her, but she'll always come back and love me.
It's not just about that you love them; it's that and you need them. They need you to be needed. To
be needed.
It's absolutely massive.
To be needed, yeah. Yeah.
So I've got this being that I brought into the world. I did that. It came from me, from this.
Yeah.
Which is an incredible thing in itself. And I was so blown away with it all.
You're so tiny.
Thank you.
How did you actually pop out of a human being?
I know. We don't want to go in the ins and outs. Trust me, you don't want to know the ins and outs of that. That's
oh my God. Well, you've had quite a career, and you're still going.
Still going.
Let's talk a little bit about your participation with Revival.
Yes.
You were there at Abbey Road when we recorded and filmed alongside the Geo Gospel Choir, who were there. They're not actually officially on the record, but they were part of the project that day in the filming. So they're in the music video, which is available on YouTube for anybody listening. Go find it, because you get a little sense of the magic that we experienced on that journey.
Was a seriously special moment for me. It was. I mean, Abbey Road, actually Abbey Road.
Abbey Road
is a serious place to be and to stand.
Yeah.
And I think I said that on the day, I was interviewed on the day, and it was like, you're standing where actual massive stars have stood.
On the shoulders
of giants.
Of giants.
And it actually feels like that had that hallowed halls feeling. And at the time I likened it to going into the Motown building in Detroit.
Yeah.
And singing up to the skylight where you get the reverb and stuff, and you're actually, oh my God, I'm actually in Motown. That's how I felt in Abbey Road.
It's amazing.
and singing amongst the choir. I haven't done much work with choirs.
So cool, isn't it?
Oh,
just different energy.
Just
it's
immense.
It's a whole different vibe.
Just immense, absolutely stunning.
And what a joy!
I mean, that day.
Joyous people. They're a beautiful group of people.
Yeah.
You know, there's no egos. There's no pretentiousness. This is what I love about the Revival family, that we have collectively slowly put together and still continuing to grow, is that it's just not about anybody. It's not about, it's kind of like Incognito. It's not about one person. No. It's about everybody.
And it's about the music.
It's about the music.
You know, and the music
and the energy
for itself.
For me, it's also about the vibration.
Totally.
This is everything, you know, if we're on the right vibrational frequency, making the music the way we are, you know, I feel like now I'm glad we're doing this now rather than before, because I know you. Yeah. But even that day that we wrote, I didn't know you that well. But if you look back in the video, my interaction with you,
we were friends straight away.
We were friends straight away.
We were friends straight away.
I'm over there like, I'm watching you and like sending you hearts. And it's just like we've known each other forever.
No, it was,
and that's how it felt.
Exactly.
That's how I felt.
I felt that immediately coming into Revival.
Yeah, it's great.
And I have a big love for the project as well. I think it's
a special project.
It really is. You guys have chosen some amazing songs.
Yeah.
And of course, you gave me the most terrifying of all. Thank you so much.
Oh, we got a little disco going on.
Yeah, you picked the hardest and the most. I mean, it's the most. It's like an absolute pinnacle of classics.
Yes.
It's the emotions, babe.
It's all of them.
Like, come down. Yeah, Imaani, we think you'd be right for this song. What's the track? Best of My Love. I'm not sure. I mean, I grew up with the song. The song is immense. The song is massive.
It's huge.
And to try and, to be fair, I had to hear the version. Remember you guys sent me the version?
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, fair enough. Actually, it's completely fresh. We're not trying to take on and remake that classic in that way.
Revival's not about making a remix or making a cover. It's about a rework.
It's like a
reimagining.
Rework. What I love about it is it feels like a modern classic now. Mm-hmm. Do you see what I mean?
Exactly.
It's kind of an up-to-date classic.
An up-to-date classic.
Yeah.
And
very
there's a lot
high.
going on, yeah. But you absolutely smashed it.
Thank you so much. I loved it. No, I was honoured.
You're Imaani. You're the Imaani.
Oh, thank you so much.
The Imaani.
I think coming into the studio.
That's your social media. Isn't it?
It's the Imaani. Yeah, it's the Imaani. That is my social media.
YouTube.
But the whole thing was just
Instagram.
trying to do that song justice.
Yeah. Well,
just to do it justice. If you're going to touch a classic like that, you need to come with something.
And now, hopefully,
it's mine now.
We've got. Yeah, I think this is going to be a big release. I really do think that we've got a monster on our hands with this track.
Oh my God!
And it's just so full of joy. You know, it's like
absolutely.
Everybody loves this record. You can't not love this record.
They do. I'm getting quite an amazing response from the people I play it to and people who've heard it. They are loving it. Yeah. They're loving it. Yeah.
So, babes, you thought Eurovision was probably one of the highlights, the real pinnacles of your career success, but I think it's still coming.
I think there's a pinnacle every year. There's a pinnacle every year.
There's a pinnacle every year.
Because every gig and every song that you put your heart into is your new pinnacle.
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
That's how I feel about it.
That's a really interesting point. And that brings me to a question I'd like to ask, which I've been kind of exploring with a lot of artists. And that is the question of what is the definition of success for you? Has that definition over the years evolved and changed? What is it now that you see as an artist as what it means to be successful?
Yeah, I think it has changed for me. When I first started out, I was 19. When I won't say how old I am now, because no.
It's nobody's business.
Exactly. Well, I was 19 when I started, and back then it was all about...
74.
I wish. Back then it was about, I suppose, fame and money and...
Of course.
And all of that sort of thing. And
awards.
Yeah, it was kind of all of that, and you get into it, and, the pinnacle for me back then would have been going on Top of the Pops. Been on Top of the Pops.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. But for me now, success is the fact that I'm still doing it. I'm still doing it. I still get to travel and I still get to stand on stage and do my most favourite thing to a crowd of people who give me life and give me joy. And every single time I do a gig, I feel that that's a success.
Absolutely.
That's it. There's kind of no more to it than that.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
Let's go to the studio. Let's go see James.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's check it out. All right, look, I don't mean to be obsessed, but I am gay, and the Eurovision Song Contest is kind of a big thing for us.
Oh my God.
All right, so, can we just have a little sing-song?
Oh, while we walk.
Yeah.
Lovely. Okay.
All right, so it is.
So you're going to start?
I can drive through the rain.
All right. Walk. That's a terrible key.
Okay, that's because it's in a male key.
Sweet Jesus, right.
I'm a man.
I would drive through the rain.
Da, da, da.
Walk a desert plain to find you.
I would.
Yes. I would drive. Come on, baby.
I would drive through the rain
to find you.
Walk a desert plain
to find you.
I would unlock these chains.
Where are you now?
Where are you now?
And the whole world is staring.
I know, because I can't do those notes in a remotely demure voice.
No, it's a yeah.
Yeah.
It's a female key. Did you have some questions for me that you kept telling me you had?
I do have some questions for you,
All right.
Imaani.
Come on.
Some very deep and profound questions.
Okay.
Now, one of those is there a song that you love so much, the way it's written, the lyrics, the melody, the harmonies, that you actually just wish you had written it yourself?
Yes, there is. And I tell you, this is an easy one.
Is it one of my songs?
Wow, straight onto the spot. You promised me I would not be put on the spot.
I did promise you that.
The spot. So swiftly moving away from that. No, it's a song, which I sing it sometimes in my sets, and it's a Bill Withers song called Can We Pretend? And what I love about Bill Withers is he doesn't mess about with the unnecessary. There is no unnecessary harmonies.
Do you
know?
true.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, the song itself shines through. So I'm able to take that song and then make it, into whatever I want to. But the gist of it, it's the lyrics. Oh, the lyrics are gorgeous. The melody's gorgeous. The whole recording is gorgeous. I now have a Latin version of it, but it's a song called "Can We Pretend," and it's "Can we pretend that from now on there is no yesterday? Take a portrait of tomorrow and the colors of today." It's such gorgeous, just gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
Check it out. It's a stunning track, and it makes me happy every time I hear it.
Yeah,
love it. I wish it was mine.
And what about along the 25-year trajectory?
Yeah.
Trajectory of your did I say that right?
Trajectory.
Trajectory. What is there? Was there a moment? Has there been a moment where you thought, I've arrived, and everything would just be like from that point on, like did you have that pinnacle moment, or has it really literally just been a series of just highs?
It's been a series of highs and lows.
Yeah,
I would say. I can pinpoint different things. Eurovision itself was amazing. That was 100 million viewers.
That must have been surreal.
Yeah, it was.
But it's changed a lot in the 25 years.
It's changed a lot. But at the time, it was one of the hugest gigs I'd ever done.
Right, yeah, of course.
And it was incredible. But then since then, even the smallest gig means the world to me. So it's a hard one. Pinnacles, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. This is, I like that though, that it's,
yeah.
I think this goes going back to what we were saying about success, when you realize that like it's all part of the journey, and
yes,
and that when you're measuring success is no longer about numbers, it's no longer about the width and breadth of your reach. It's more just about the fact that you're reaching anybody.
It's about the fact that I'm reaching, exactly. So to stand in front of an audience, and obviously I'm a sucker for applause. Obviously.
We're all a sucker for applause.
Massive ego, but then most of us in this game have got huge egos.
I haven't met many artists who don't have at least
I was
ego.
told to get a big ego very, very early on, and that was good advice, I tell you what.
Was it?
It was.
That's interesting.
It was. You haven't got enough ego. You need more ego. You need to think more of yourself. Stop being concerned with what other people think of you.
I'm not sure I would call that ego, but maybe that is ego.
In a way.
That's confidence. And confidence and ego to me are two different things.
Do you think so?
I do. I think confidence is... Yeah, confidence is having that self-belief.
Sure.
But when you think of somebody who's egotistical, it's Donald Trump, for instance. That's, that's an extreme example.
I get you. In which case,
somebody
I'll take confidence.
whose belief in self is so extreme that it's actually, a menace to the future of art and everything good in the world.
Yeah, no. And to be honest with you, the best artists I've ever met thinking about it, have had very little ego.
Because the ego is an illusion, and it's part of our attachment to this world, kind of this attachment to this character that we all play.
Sure.
Whereas when you strip that back and you're able to see beyond that, which is very, very superficial in a way, it's just not, then you get into the meat and potatoes of what we do with the craft. And it's not about this.
It kind of isn't. It
right?
Isn't.
So, okay. Isn't. All right. So,
you're right.
Yeah. Okay. I usually am.
I don't mind you being right, as long as you understand.
Just as long as I don't boast.
Well, as long as you understand that I'm always going to be righter. That's fine. You be right.
That's okay.
You be right, baby. You be right. Ooh, home sweet home.